statement about tonight's game, and then we'll take questions for Johnny. We'll have to see up there too. We'll take questions for Johnny Wayne first, and then we'll let Johnny go once you've done with it.
Tough road game. Just didn't get out of the gate like we were hoping for. We had a great practice yesterday, spirited shoot around today, but we just we gave them too many easy ones early, and they just got it rolling. And it was a buzzsaw that first half. And guys fight, but we got down too many, and we allowed some things in the first half to affect the rest of the game, and got flustered, and just, it's how it goes. You got to learn from it. I told our guys sometimes things get worse before they get better, and that's reality. And I know these guys, they love playing together. They care about each other, so they're going through this right now, and it hurts, it stinks, but this is where we're at right now, and we got to get back to work really hard, and no pointing fingers, keep the noise out of our gym, and fight like crazy to do what we want to do.
Johnny, what were they doing defensively that kind of prevented you guys to be able to get going offensively like you wanted?
I would say, like, it's really like playing between certain matchups. A lot of matchups they felt that they felt weren't, that they got too close, they would like just drive easily. So it's kind of like trying to bait you into doing second guess thing, second guess shot, second guess drive, instead of just doing what you naturally do. As a basketball player, you play off instinct. Like I feel you do in any other sport. I just feel like they did a good job baiting people into doing things that they weren't too sure about. And it really got to our guys, some shots that that they would take off the rip, they would, second guess, and maybe, they're not shooting with as much confidence, or then you're making a bad pass or making a mistake, and then that compounds on everything else.
You mentioned some of those things, getting to the guys. As a senior, what maybe past experiences can you draw on to help some of the young guys get past some of that and get past the rough patch?
People usually play me the same way, especially my sophomore year, when I was really trying to develop my game. A lot of people, like, if they got too close, I was gonna go by him. So they'll play like in between, and then that's when you like, I don't know if I should shoot it, I don't know if I should drive it. He's not really playing me, but he is playing me. So it's like a mind game. And basketball is mental. So you just gotta come up there with as much confidence as you can, as you know you have in yourself. Because ain't nobody gonna believe in you more than yourself. So.
Anything else for Johnny?
What do you hope you and maybe Johnny and Chris can pass on and to help the guys get past this little rough patch of gym?
You gotta keep fighting. You can't just roll over and take it. That's not like you. We are 18, 22, 23. You're technically a man now. Man just not gonna let somebody just take their spirit, take their heart. A man gonna fight back, regardless. I know any of y'all fight back, you got down. So my mama, she always told me, she was like, when you up, it's never as good as it seems. When you down, you never think you're gonna be up again. So don't matter. You just got next day, film, watch it. Next opponent, where we play next. Get our game plan together and get ready to kill them. That's something. Got nothing else to say.
Anything else for Johnny?
Coach, during the run they have, in the first half, what are you telling the guys that trying to, maybe try to get them back into,
just try to get some stops, change a couple things up, but try to get some stops, and we lost a couple guys in half court. They got some easy shots. They started feeling it. A couple guys who don't make all the shots that they made today started getting going, and we wanted to get after them. We didn't want to be in a half-court defense the whole possession. They were going to run all their stuff. And, we got after them. I thought we did a decent job after the first time out of blowing some of their stuff up, making the kitchen further out. We didn't have enough resistance at the basket today, and Watanabe made some plays in that first half that really hurt us.
What do you think, Arnaldo was doing on Justin and maybe hurt him in the middle?
No, it's just everybody's just collapsing on Justin. The question you guys asked Johnny is, they're playing guys differently because they're really making sure they put a couple bodies on Justin. So he's like, we got to find different ways to get him the ball and catch him on the move and all that stuff. And he's going to continue to rebound like he is, and that will help. And he did a couple early that he missed. So he's got to play through that and all that. But when teams play you differently, you got to adjust, but you still got to be aggressive. And really, the last 2 games we weren't as aggressive on offense that we need to be. And part of that is when you don't make shots or you're not shooting it as well. You look around, you get a little flustered, you get tentative, and we got to learn to play through that. That's one thing I don't want our guys to be, is be tentative. They don't want to mess up. They don't want to lose. They don't want to mess it up for their teammates. And you can't think like that. They care about each other so much. I think they're afraid to make mistakes. You got to go play basketball, and especially today, we got a lot of frustration that hurt us on the offensive end.
Coach, with such a cluster for that 4th spot in the conference, do you almost have to have a conference tournament mentality, even though the conference tournament is not here yet?
Yeah, of course. It's that time of the year, and everybody's playing, and like you said, there's a lot of people. But you know what? For us right now, and I'll say it again, sometimes it's got to get worse before it gets better for you to get to that place, to get to what we want. And we hit rock bottom today. Now we got to fight like crazy, like Johnny said. And I know what I'm going to do. I believe in our guys. It never goes the way you want. There's some things still out there that we want to do. Before that, we got to start doing things, taking care of ourselves, doing things the right way, get back to playing with more confidence, playing more aggressive, and that's going to be that's our life for the next couple of days, of getting back to where we belong and fight like crazy for it.
What can you pull for some of the maybe struggles to help some of your young guys get better in the long run for some of the things you're going through right now?
Well, this is the biggest thing to me right now is keep the noise out and what's really important, what really matters. Your teammates, your approach, and how hard you work. The only way you get better is you spend more time on it, you work harder at it. And there's adjustments we'll make, but with the group we have, we got to continue to get better. And there's been many times throughout this year that for a 3, 4, 5, 8 minute stretch for a half, these guys we're getting it, but it's 2 steps back, a step forward, and we just gotta keep fighting. But when you hit rock bottom, you get your circle tighter, you spend more time on what matters and what gets you better, and then you work crazy. I've been here before. It stinks. This is part of coaching you hate. Unfortunately, when you play enough basketball games as a player at all levels, you go through this before, and you can make all the excuses you want, or you can follow the noise. We're not doing that. I'm not doing that. We're going to fight like crazy, and these are the days you don't forget.
Hey, Coach.
On purpose, you don't forget today.
This time of year, you talked about keeping the noise out. And how do you keep it positive when you go into review and film? Is this a situation as a coach, even though there might not be a lot of positives from today, that you want to emphasize those things to give them good thoughts? Do you break it down the same way you would have broken it down back in December? What do you do with film study now?
You bring variety to it because it's about learning. It's just not about showing the tape. It's about learning what you did. So there's different ways. In our tape sessions, we want our guys to walk out of there and they learn something. It's not about getting out of that. Now they're going to get called out, and coaches are critical, and they're critical of each other. I think that's very important. That's a positive. That's one thing about our guys. They can tell each other, they can take it the right way, especially from their peers. So when we watch tape, it's all about retaining this and then using it on the court and trying to get better at it. That to me is very, very important. They're not sessions in there that kill the guys and make them fall back in their seats. Our tape sessions and our video sessions, one-on-one stuff, is, hey, watch what we did here. This isn't good enough. This isn't how we do it. This is something we can learn here and then apply it. That's the only way you get better. beating them down watching tape isn't the way to do it, in my opinion. But you know, it is what it is. They're not gonna like watching it. I'm not gonna like watching it, but I'll watch it a few times before Monday, so we can find ways to get better.
One more.
Jerry Hunter mentioned, you talked to him yesterday that you guys look at some body language stuff from the previous game in film. How much does some of that stuff make a difference?
I look. We got a lot of young guys too, and they want it so bad that when it doesn't, they take themselves out of the next play or two because of their response. And we that's just, you know, there's a lot of guys that played at VCU and a lot of guys that coach that had bad body language, and you just got to get better and better at it, and try to clear your mind of the things that keep you from being ready to play the next play. And you know, that's not, we're all there. I'm dealing with that with my children now. You know, you got to get rid of bad body language, last play, the next play mentality. Don't worry about the last play. Log it, understand it, but move on so you're ready to be successful the next play. At times we've been good at that. Right now we're not very good at that. We got to really work on it.
Thanks, guys.